Hi and welcome to this video on how to deal with stress and anxiety without medication. And too often in modern life we'll try and pop a pill to get rid of whatever it is we want to get rid of, and we'll hope it works. And yeah, some of the time it does, but quite often pills are short term, and yeah, short term they're good, or they can be good. Longer term they have lots of side effects and maybe even dependencies that mean you'd rather not deal with stress and anxiety long term by reaching for that pot of whatever it happens to be. So start by learning to breathe again, and that's something you probably learned as a child. Well, you must have learned as a child, we all breathe. When I say learn to breathe again, I mean taking long, slow, deep breaths. When we get anxious and stressed, we tend to go panic, and pant and all that kind of thing, and it just doesn't work because it just winds us up more. So long, slow, deep breath in. Hold the breath if you can, if it's not too painful, if it's okay to do so, and then slowly breathe out. And as you breathe out, use a visualization technique of just imagining all your stresses, all your anxiety, all of that hitching a ride on your out breath, so you can actually maybe even see it go out and just like bubbles pop, and it just harmlessly goes out into the air. So breathing, simple technique, you can do it anywhere, everyone knows you breathe, so it's not weird. Next, learn to relax again, and again, that's the sort of thing that we did as a child. You could curl up and sleep almost anywhere probably, and dogs do it all the time, cats a little bit less so, but quite a lot of the time, and animals can relax quite easily, and we're capable of relaxing, it's just we seem to have forgotten how to. So find a technique that relaxes you. It could be a nice warm bath, could be a walk somewhere, it could just be sitting down with headphones on and a do not disturb sign almost physically on top of you. Could be lots of different things. Experiment to see what works for you, but learn to chill, learn to relax, put on a meditation track, put on some nice, cool, charming music, anything that relaxes you, anything that takes you to another place in your mind, really, because that's what dealing with stress and anxiety does. You've taken yourself to a place where your mind's anxious. Take yourself somewhere else. You're perfectly doable. You've just done that with the stress side of things. Do it with other things. Be grateful more often as well, because the law of attraction is the sort of you sit there and vibrate or whatever, and that's a little bit new age, a little bit hippie, but being grateful actually does do that. You send out positive messages to other people, and you notice if you smile at people, not Cheshire cat grin, not maniac grin or anything like that, just a normal smile, just even if it's half-hearted, you find that people smile back, they're friendlier. And if you do that, and if you're happy, and if you're positive with people, we'll come on to that in a minute as well, they'll be friendly back, and that will change your whole vibration, and that will help you de-stress. Manage your diet better as well, because comfort foods are really good for you. They're usually full of salt and sugar and spice and all things nice, that kind of thing. But what you eat, the less processed it is, the better. I know that's kind of not always easy if you're in a rush, but actually, if you start preparing your own food, as long as you do a trip to the supermarket with a list, that's one of the key points on diet. Because if you haven't got the nasty stuff in, you probably won't go out and just say, oh, I need a packet of Doritos or whatever. You'll just go out and if it's in the cupboard, you'll eat it. If you have to make a 5, 10, 15-minute round trip, you're less likely to do so because it puts it into a considered eat. So manage your diet better, cook more from scratch. You'll find there's lots of 10, 15-minute recipes, all that kind of thing. You can rustle up an omelette pretty fast. If you've got things like frozen peppers, frozen onions in the freezer, you put those in, maybe some prawns if you're a fish eater, maybe bits of meat, just dice them up, prepare them ready. Because at omelette size they'll cook perfectly fast. You can do that with lots of different things. You can have meat or meat substitutes ready, depends what you eat, but you can do that and just put it in the sauce, and 5-10 minutes later you got food ready. And personally I prefer a hob rather than a microwave oven if I've got a bit more time, but I'm just not pro microwaves. But comfort foods, banish them from the house. If you've got other people in the house, obviously that's difficult, but do the equivalent as close as you can of putting them under lock and key. A friend of mine puts a wind chime on the cupboard so everyone in the house can hear them when they open the door, because you can't open that quietly. unfriend the negative people in your life. You know, I said about being grateful more often. This is exactly the same. It's getting rid of the negative influences in your life. Okay, you can't necessarily do that at work, but you can avoid them. You can maybe reschedule, maybe only sort of do stand-up meetings with them, that kind of thing, or even talk to HR department and get them out of your life. Say, look, they really are stressing me out. It's affecting my work performance, blah, 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 blah. You can come up with lots of becauses, and because it's the kind of shortcut that we use. It's the kind of word that everyone thinks, okay, there must be something important after it because you said because. But unfriend them on Facebook if they're always putting negative stuff up about how what World War III is going to happen yesterday, how you should be a survivalist, whatever else. Unless you're into being a survivalist, that might chill you out anyway. But you'll know who the negative people are. Have as little contact with them as possible and increase your contact with the positive people. Make sure you sleep well as well. That's not always easy when you're stressed because you lie awake at night thinking, oh, your mind's running through a million and one different scenarios of what could possibly go wrong, and the answer in your mind is everything, and the answer in real life is not very much. Sleeping well, that can be a matter of relaxing before you go to sleep. I tend to play myself a meditation track for between 10 minutes and an hour. The ones I've got last an hour, the modern ones are typically 10 to 15 minutes. But play yourself that maybe, or have a bath. Turn off all the lights when you're sleeping as well. Make sure that all those indicator lights, all the standby lights are off as well. Just cover them up with tape or whatever else you do, whatever else is to hand, bit of blue tack, anything like that, so they're actually not glowing. So your room is as dark as possible. Make sure you also regulate the temperature. You might have to resort to sleeping tablets or something, but if you do, only do that short term. Set yourself a deadline. Say, right, within X number of days or weeks, I'm going to not be on them. And natural is preferred over unnatural. And also during the day, try a power nap. They're easy, 10 minutes aside, you get a hypnosis track or something else, just pre-programmed, takes you into the power nap mode, takes you there, brings you back out at the end of it, and that can help your alertness levels during the day as well, and that can also help reduce stress and anxiety. Consider natural remedies. Talk to your local herbalist. They're usually very, very helpful. Usually some are a bit wimpy, but they're positive, and they'll know what works, they'll know what doesn't work. Certain natural remedies, they've been around for thousands of years. Typically they're plant-based. Well, aspirin is a derivative. It used to be when we chewed willow to get rid of headaches. So same kind of thing. But the thing with natural remedies is that they are natural rather than man-made. So they're not made in a factory, and that's good. And it'll just help. So talk to your local herbalist or go online, go to a trusted source, WebMD, something like that. Amazon, if you go to that, be careful on the reviews. There are things to check out how many of the reviews are fake, because this kind of thing attracts fake reviews like mad. So be careful on Amazon, but there are sites out there that will show you how to basically weed out the unnatural reviews on Amazon. And once you do that, you can again start trusting. And maybe you need a radical solution. Maybe you need to downsize. Maybe you need to just go out in the country, or if you're country fellow, go into the town. Whatever it is to take rid of some of the stress, because a lot of stress tends to be money based. So downsize. Doesn't matter what other people think. They probably won't think anything beyond the first 5-10 minutes. You just say, well, yeah, I've just downsized. It was freaking me out. I was stressed all the time. It wasn't doing me any good. You can come up with lots and lots of excuses, and people nod and say yes, and they won't really care. They'll actually care more about the fact that you're getting better. And it's not on the slides, but talk to a friend. Talk to a trusted friend. Chat it out. And the last thing on the list is meditate. I'd suggest there's lots of different ways of meditating. Personally, I put on MP3. I'm lazy like that, and it works. Other people will do more traditional methods. Lots of different ways of doing that. There's a link below this video. You can click that to get some free meditation tracks, see whether that works for you. But basically get some you time so that you're not concentrating on everyone else all the time. You're actually concentrating on you and healing you, getting you better, because that will positively affect everyone else, and it will positively affect the stress and anxiety, and you'll feel it not quite melt away, but certainly reduce over time. So go for it. As I said, if you'd like a free meditation, just click the link below this video, and obviously if you've got any other ways of dealing with stress and anxiety without popping pills, feel free to put a comment in below the video as well. Thanks for watching.